Hello, people. I am Sky Demolisher, and welcome back for another filler episode of Fall Guys. Um, Basically, because I've only got like one Tuesday left of August, and then I think there's 5 Tuesdays in September. I thought I might as well just do like filler episodes, so they might not all be Fall Guys. This week is definitely Fall Guys. Other week it might be Star Wars. It might be something else, or maybe September will be a different filler game, maybe like Golf with Friends, but it would be like Golf without friends. Um, and then I figured like because we're so close to October, I might as well do like Dead by Daylight through October. I mean, I could start like another game series in October of like, some kind of horror related game. Um, but to be honest, I don't see the point in it, sort of thing. We'll do solo chills for this one. Um, of course, no guarantee of wins and all that if you've been here before. If you haven't been here, there's no guarantee of wins. There's no guarantee I'm going to be great at the game or whatever. I do believe that it has changed though. So, the last time I did this, I think I was playing as a Xenomorph, and I had played as a Xenomorph for ages. And then, of course, they brought in the Predator skin, so I got the Predator skin. Um, yeah, it was also because the Xenomorph skin was a skin that my friends' kids didn't like. They don't like scary things. So, I, you know, I changed to a Predator, for that. Um, yeah. What else was I going to say? Um, if you've been around for a while, then you'd also know that there's been back and forwards about whether or not the house was going to sell, and the decision has now been made that the house must be sold by the 31st of December 2025. So I don't have a choice in it this time. Um, the house will be sold. If you've been enjoying like From the Collection Fridays at the moment, I'm under the question of whether or not I quit it at say episode 365. I think I'm up to like 352 this week. And the idea on 365 was just that, it gives you like one From the Collection Fridays episode for every day of a year. Because it will mean that some parts of my collection need to go. Exactly how much of it has to be sold, I don't know. And of course, that's one of the problems with it. And that's also why I thought I'll just do filler games, because I think fixing up parts of the house that need fixing up, um, uh, will probably be done, perhaps finished early to mid September. And basically, once that's done, from what I understand, the house will go on the market. Um, and yeah, because I have no idea where I'll be living, I'm kind of against the idea of starting up a new game series until I've got that sort of certainty. Because, like where I live at the moment, there's copper line internet. So ADSL, it's slow, it's crappy. Um, where we end up, wherever that might be, there's a possibility that there'll be like fiber internet, so a much quicker connection and all of that, which would also open me up to the option of like streaming stuff. Not that I really think I will stream anything, but yeah, because there's sort of uncertainty of the whereabouts, I don't really want to start a video series that might then end up being like I'm moving and I'm unable to actually record videos to, you know, to cover and stuff, because, you know, like I can sort of bulk record certain you know, like certain video series to a degree, like the From the Collection Friday stuff. It's sort of easier to bulk record that. But, you know, like if I start up a proper Let's Play series, then, you know, generally speaking, I can only sort of do 3 or 4 episodes, and then I've got to, you know, like I've got to rest after that. I should say, like, in this game, just going back to the game, because it's like a solos chill thing, everyone has the ability to, you know, to qualify. Everyone has the ability to actually win. It seems like some people playing it don't really care about that aspect, and they're like, I still need to be the one and only winner, sort of thing. And I'm sort of sitting there and thinking, you know, you're a bunch of fucking dicks. Because, like, why deny people the ability to sort of, you know, to do it? Which then sort of contradicts the statement at the start that I can't guarantee a win. But it's not really a contradiction, because if you get, you know, an ending like this, it's quite possible that someone will eliminate me, and then there is no, you know, there is nothing to, you know, to come back on. We might as well just do another round, because, you know, we're only at, was about 8 minutes. But yeah, so I'm loath to start another Let's Play series just because of that uncertainty. You know, there's certainly a part of me that wonders about just sort of quitting all of this, because it's not real, you know, it's not like I have high views or anything. Like, I don't have enough people to be monetized or anything like that, and I don't think I'm that entertaining, you know. So it certainly feels more like a novelty than anything else. And I basically just keep it up because it's, you know, it's one of those things that gets me talking. And if I don't do it, I won't talk. And if I don't talk, then I wouldn't say I lose the ability to speak, but my ability to speak is not as good. And stuff. I'll tell you what, it always annoys me, like, just these particular roles. Because, you know, like, you can get sort of fucked up. But, wait, can I? Yeah. I'm not so early into an episode that using the F word is going to be, like, you know, bad. But yeah, it's also probably one of those things where I shouldn't really be fucking talking, because the reality is that the talking is somewhat distracting to watching the next pink thing come through. and I need to know a specific track there. You know, that's sort of how you get through those spikes. Oh fuck. Oh no. Lucky. You know, looking ahead is certainly how you get through that spiked roll. So, yeah. Not that I really want to be like a misery guts or anything, but you know, it's just one of those things that the past little while has actually been quite difficult because, you know, like, actually, some of you may not be aware of this. In June, both of my electric guitars, my amplifiers, and my pedals were stolen. Now, I've cast a net out on the web through, like, you know, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram to bring awareness to it. But yeah, it hasn't been fruitful. So I lost all of my, well, I didn't say all of my guitars, but I've lost 2 of my guitars and both of my amps, all the cables and the effects pedals that I had with them. They were being held at my brother's place in Christchurch, and yeah, obviously someone found them and took them. It may... Don't be a fucking asshole, dude. That's what I mean, like, yeah, everyone can fucking qualify. Why be a cunt when you don't actually have to be? You know? Yeah, so I lost all of that stuff. And then I thought we were past the point, you know, the decision had pretty much been made to stay here. So, you know, I've lost my guitars, my amps. I don't know if my brother's insurance company is actually going to come to the table and replace them. And I don't have the money myself to replace all of that gear because it's like, you know, a couple grand's worth. And then, you know, the house will be sold, which means moving. I find it difficult living with uncertainty. So, you know, that was another kick in the guts. And then, of course, because we have to move, I have to get rid of parts of my collection, but my bigger fear is that wherever we go, there won't be room for my collection at all, which means I very much lose everything that I've built over the years, sort of thing. So yeah, it's been sort of tough and very sucky, sort of thing. You know, I've looked for replacement equipment. At the exact same time, it's like, you know, where I live rurally. You know, my neighbours' homes are like 50 metres away, sort of, you know, well, probably 30 to 40 metres for one of them. But I can have guitars with amplifiers turned up and, you know, I can listen to loud music and stuff. If I end up back in a town or a city, you know, a lot of these newer builds, your neighbour is literally like fucking close enough to hear you farting. So the idea of actually having the guitars and the amplifiers is sort of shot down because, you know, you can't make too much noise with your neighbours too bloody close. And then, you know, my collection, even here, a lot of it is stored in sheds or in the garage. So, you know, like living rurally, the fact that I'm virtually always home, it's very difficult for somebody to, you know, to know where my things are and to steal them. particularly given the hours I sleep, there's virtually always somebody awake here, which is not true if we moved elsewhere. So, people would perhaps see it from the street. And it's not just like the toy and collectible side of the collection, it's like all the books and the DVDs and the CDs and all of that, because I've got a very wide collection of things. And part of the reason why I had such a massive collection is because I'd always hoped to sort of expand it into a store, whether it was a cafe or a chill out spot or something like that. That was my grand plan. So a lot of the stuff I bought was bought with the idea of other people being able to be around it and enjoy it, or having like a sort of museum or something. But yeah, that's probably not going to come to fruition or anything. So yeah. Anyway, enough rambling from me. This is the end of an episode. You've seen 2 lots of Solos chills. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.